Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and the name James Murdoch has been mentioned once before on the channel. James sent us a cryptic crossword, I think, and got a mention in the crossword video, but today he sent us his first Sudoku construction, nearly a year later, I think. So we're very pleased. James, welcome to the other part of the world of puzzles. Now, obviously here at Cracking the Cryptic, we are interested in cryptic crosswords, and yesterday's Friday's crossword masterclass. But you can see more crossword videos if you go to our Patreon, where we have crossword videos, gridograms and connections. There's also the month's patron reward, which is a Sudoku hunt by Sandra and Nala called Bug Friends, and is really good fun, but not long left to enter it now. If you want to enter it as a competition, but if you just want to solve it, it'll be there for a long time. Now, what else have we got going on? We've got all of our apps, and they feature the newest worm app by Blobs. It's called his Eclectic Worm. 12 6x6 Sudokus connected together by a few digits. Fantastic fun, different rule sets for each one, and never too difficult given Blobs' excellent standards. And that joins our suite of worms and apps, including Killer Sudoku and Domino Sudoku, which is almost relevant today. And of course, there is a bit of merch, the Rat Run merch designed by Marty Sears, the great Marty Sears, thanks to him, and the classic Cracking the Cryptic merch. So do check it all out. It's all on the links under the video, where the first link is to this puzzle, which is called Unvexed, and we will see why. Those are the two wrong letters, C and Y. V and X are the right letters. Right. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits in cells joined by a white dot are consecutive. There's only one white dot here. Digits in cells joined by an X sum to 10. There are none of those. Digits in cells joined by a V sum to 5. Why is he telling me that? All V's and X's are given. So that means that within this puzzle as a whole, no two neighbouring digits sum to 5 or 10, or there would be a V or an X somewhere. Digits in a cage may not repeat and sum to the total given. All cages without a given total, you'll note there are 2 cages with given totals, but all cages without have the same total, which must be determined by the solver. It feels like there's a bit of similarity with the latest puzzle I did a bit like this was it Noah's Ark by Mac T a few days ago, where we certainly had to calculate some same cage totals, but some different ones. Here, they're all the same apart from these two. It's a fascinating idea. Do give this a try on the first link under the video. Remember this negative constraint that no two cells that are next to each other can add up to 5 or 10. I have seen more puzzles recently where if that constraint was used, it said so explicitly in the instructions that cells, no two neighbouring cells in the puzzle could sum to 5 or 10. I rather like this. This is a throwback to World Championships gone by and National Championships, where the XV puzzle would very occasionally come. The XV puzzle would always have as a standard rule that all X's and V's are given. And then very occasionally you would get a grid with no X's and V's. I suspect they can be more easily done by computers these days, such grids. And that, if I was compiling a no X, no V puzzle, I would certainly be employing some automatic assistance, like from Sudoku Maker or something like that. But anyway, I like this expression of the rules, but it's important that we don't forget the negative constraint. Right, waffle. Let's get on with the puzzle. Let's get cracking. So, first order of business feels like trying to establish the standard cage total for everything but these 2 cages. So, let's look at this box, which 3 cages of the total X plus that cell, which could be anywhere between 1 and 9, sum to 3X, obviously. Now, we know a secret about the sum of every row, column and box, and I'm going to share it with you now in case you don't know it. They all add up to 45. That is the number because it's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. So these add up to 45, plus that takes us to a total that is somewhere between 46 and 54. But it must be a total that is divisible by 3. So in that case, it's either going to be 48, 51, or 54. And if we divide that by 3, we get the 3 candidates that I have now isolated as the cage total, which is 12, 13, or 14. I mean, I'm tempted. I think the rules have been expressed carefully enough that 14 is not ruled out just because there is a cage labelled 14. So I'm leaving it in. Now, here is another instance of 45 plus 1 cell equals 3x, so I can write a 3, 6, or 9 there. This one's a bit different. 45 plus those two equals 3x. So these two now add up to the same 3, 6, or 9 that appears there. I don't know how to pencil mark that. But here in this cage, this cage, actually, let's do that first. This cage has 3 cells outside that again, therefore, must add up to 3x minus 45, i.e. 3, 6, or 9. Well, 3 cells cannot add up to 3 because they must be at least 1, 2, 3. So 3 is gone. These either add up to 6 or 9. If they add up to 6, they're 1, 2, 3. Now, if they add up to 6, we've got 51 in this group. Divided by 3 is 17. So if these add up to 6, that's worth 17. This is worth 14. That's 37. To get to the cage total, we would have the box total of 45. We would have an 8 there. If, on the other hand, these add up to 9, in which case the cage total is 54 divided by 3 is 18. Then those are 9. That's 18. That's 27. This is 14, 41. Then we would get a 4 here. I didn't expect those digits to differ by 4. But they do. I suppose they do, actually, because we're sort of counting those 3 cage. Within this 90 area, 2 lots of 45, we're counting 4 cage totals. And that is the difference between the 2 sums. So yes, 4 makes sense as a difference. That must be 3 or 7 to match off. Now, I was going to look at this box. These two either add up to 18 times 2 is 36, in which these two add up, in which case these two add up to 9. But only one of those is appropriate then. If it's 18, these add up to 72, 86, that's a 4, that's a 7. So if these are both 18s, that's 36 plus 7 is 43. This is going to be a 2 to make 45. If, on the other hand, 17 is the total, we're obviously going to get the 3, no, 15, no, 45 plus 6 is 51, 17 is the total instead of 18. Then those add up to 34. This is the 3 in that time, that's 37, and this is an 8. I see, the difference is 6, because we've now started considering this area with 6 versions of the unknown number. But annoyingly, that did not rule out anything, did it? So I haven't found out whether the cage total is 17 or 18 yet. Why was I allowing 14 in? I must have done the maths wrong. When this could have added up to 48 with a 3, 16 was the possibility. 14 was never going to be the unknown cage total. So sorry about the absolute bobbins I spoke about that. Right. We need to come up with something slightly cleverer now. Is it worth adding these 2 columns? 3 full unknown cages and 11 or 14, but then 3 other cells. I'm going to try it. I don't think this is going to do anything, but let's say they were 17. That's 51, 65, 76. These would add up to 14. I can't remember what that one is in that case. I think it would work either way round. Okay, I'm going to briefly try it. Oh, I've missed that cell if I'm doing this addition. Oh, bother. Oh, forget that. Those two columns I'm not interested in anymore. It does look like the boxes matter. Maybe I do Sudoku. Those two digits are the same, which rules them out of these cells. I don't know. I don't know how to get to this important deduction. Okay, if these were 9, in which case the cage total is 18. That's an 18. This is 14. And that's the 4. So I'm more interested in the version where it's 6 here. 1, 2, 3. Because then this digit is an 8. Then this has to be a 9, 5 pair in the 14 cage. And this has to be a 4, 6, 7 cage in that case. Maybe it doesn't really help. If these add up to 9 with a 14 there, 23, and a 4, this is 18. Oh, if they add up to 9 without a 4, they're either 135 or 126. I think then there are 2 possibilities for this cage. It might be that this cage always contains a 7, because the 14 cage can't contain a 7, and this group of cells that either add up to 6 or 9 can't contain a 7. So yeah, the 14 cage does always, the unknown cage does always contain a 7. I don't think it's very helpful, but it is nonetheless the case. 17 or 18. Oh, these two were going to add up to either the 6 or the 9, weren't they? If it's the 6, then the cage total is smaller for this area, and this is 8. So if that's a 6, this is 3, and that's 8, and that doesn't help with this. Wow, I don't know. Okay, this cage cannot contain the digit 6 or 9, the extra digit. Now, let's go here. These either add up to 6 or 9. So, did I work out they couldn't be 2, 3, 4? 8, 9, 5, 7, 1, 6. Yeah, they can't be 2, 3, 4, because if these add up to 9, that's going to be a 4. So these are either 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 6, or 1, 2, 3. So they always contain 2 of the really low digits, 1, 2, and 3. That means there can only be one of those really low digits here. Now, this cage is going to add up to 17 or 18, obviously. Does it need 2 of those really low digits? No, because it could be 1, 4, 5, 7 or 2, 4, 5, 6. If this was 1, 3, 5, it couldn't have 5 and 1. If it was 1, 2, 6, if this was 1, 2, 3, that's the case to work on. If this was 1, 2, 3, these digits would be at least 4, 5, 6 equals 15. Right, let's work on this case. If these were 1, 2, 3, making these two 6, making the cage total that we're looking for 17. This would be a 17 sum without using 1, 2, 3 here. So this could be 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 7, and that would be 1 or 2. I think this is the more constrained sum version. But I don't know how it works, and I don't know what the constraints are quite. I feel like I'm meant to be using the 14 and the 11 cage slightly better. Ah, is there always either an 8 there or an 8 there? Yes. I think there is, because in one of the cases we have 4, 7, 8, don't we? So I've got to check this again. Sorry, if these cages all add up to 17, then this lot adds up to 4 times 17 is 68, 82, that's an 8. But if they add up to 18, these 4 add up to 72, 86, that's 4, that's 7. And now with 18, 36, 43, oh no, that's 2. In that case, it's 4, 7, 2. Oh, that's really annoying. I was hoping that one of these was always an 8. And then I was going to conclude that this couldn't have an 8. And actually, that's not even a bona fide conclusion if I'd been right. Okay, well, I was off beam there. So these are either 838 or 472. Now, is there a problem with 2 8s being in those cells? Eight is here if 17 is the cage total number. 838 is happening if 17 is the cage total number. So then these are 1, 2, 3. If that's 8, 3, 8. These are 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, and these are 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 7. And then 8 and 9 must be up here, and they couldn't both go in the same cage. So one of them would be here. Oh, well, let's go back to this columns 1 and 2 calculation, because maybe that was better and I just abandoned it. So that's got 3 full cages, and these 3 full cages, the 2 counted cages. So if these are 18, that's 54, plus 14, 68, plus 11, 79. These would add up to 11. They wouldn't all have to be different, and that would be a 2. I mean, it is possible. It's not hugely easy to do. It's not difficult particularly, but it is restricted. Alternatively, if these add up to 17, that's 51, 65, 76. Then we've got 14 left, yeah, a difference of 3 cages, 1 cell in each, yeah. These would add up to 14, but this would now be 8. So these would only add up to 6 in that case. That is quite restricted too. These cells either add up to 6 or 11. If they added up to 6, that would be the case where this was 1 or 2. These would add up to 4 or 5. And either 3 or 4 would be gone in that case. I think it is 3 that would be gone. And they add up to 4 or 5. So they're either 1, 4. No, well, they can't add up to 4. Okay, let's actually... They would be 1, 4. That would be 1. They'd be adding up to 6. Why was there optionality? I must know whether they're meant to add up to 4 or 5. Oh, it was dependent on this being a 1 or a 2. And that was 8 and 3, so that didn't affect that. So these would add up to 6 without being affected by the 3. But that couldn't be a 2, because that 3 would prevent this being a 3-1 pair. So this would have to be a 1-4 pair with a 1 here. I mean, it would be very constrained indeed, but it would be alive as a possibility. We would at that stage, in the low version, have 1, 4, 3, 8 here. No, this is the high version. This is where, no, this is where the cage total is 17. We'd have 1, 4, 3, 8 in these cells, and 8, 3 in the other purple cells. No, 8, 1. This would be 4, 5, 7, 8, 1, 3. This little L cage would be 2, 6, 9. It's perfectly feasible, and it does add up to 17, obviously. Oh, goodness, I can't quite get one of these versions falsified. I expect I'm not being very bright here. Okay, let's look at the top 3 rows, because there's quite a lot of complete cages within them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this whole area of the top 3 rows is 135. That is either 6 times 17 or 6 times 18. 6 times 17 is 102. That would leave 33 for these cells. 6 times 18 would take 6 off that total and leave 27 for them. Oh, well, maybe 6 times 17 is very interesting. Maybe, and I might be wrong about this, 6 times 17, which leaves these cells adding to 33, is the same situation in which those two only add up to 5. And if that was the case, these 3 are going to have to add up to 28. And they can't do that. Right, let's go through this again, and I'll fill in the numbers that would happen in the case that I now believe is not possible. And we'll see if it's not possible. So I think it is not possible for all of these cages to be 17s. This group of cells then adds up to 51 because it's 3 full cages. So that's a 1, 2, 3, adding up to 6. This is a 17 cage, which would now actually be 7, 4, 6. And this would have to be a 5, 9 pair. We'd have 8 here and 3 here. And now we'd be in the situation where these two have to add up to 5 or 4. Well, they can't add up to 4. So there'd be a 1, 4 pair adding up to 5. This would be... Never mind about that. Let's just focus on the yellow. Because this, in the case where these added up to 51, is a 6. And now you've got 3 cages here adding up to 51. You've got 6, 57, and 4 and 1 is 62. These 3 in these 2 boxes that add up to 90 would have to add up to 28. and they'd average over 9. Well, that is not possible. So 17 is not the correct cage total. That was quite difficult, but it was true. 18 is the correct cage total. So here we go. This digit is a 9, that digit is a 9. We're underway. 20 minutes in, we're underway. Nice one, James. Now, these do add up to 9. They're either 135 or 126. This is now a 4. This is 7. With these being 18 cages, that's a 2. Now, these two columns, we've got 3 lots of 18 is 54, 65, 79, 81. These 3 remaining pink cells add up to 9. I don't have so much information about what this is, to be fair. I don't even know whether it's a repeat digit. I don't know. These 3 pink cells add up to 9. That's where I got to there. These 2 add up to 9 as well, and these 3 add up to 9 to make up these 18 totals. This is an 18 cage without a 2 in it. I was going to say it's got to have a 1, but actually 3, 4, 5, 6 adds up to 18, so it doesn't. This cage has a 7 in it and adds up to 18. The other 2 add up to 11. They can't be 6, 5 because one of those is needed here, and they're not 7, 4. So it's either 7, 8, 3 or 7, 2, 9. But that hasn't changed, whether this is 9, 5 or 6, 8. Now, what am I saying? These add up to 9. Can I use that? Is there a way? There could be a repeat. I'm almost thinking that there probably is a repeat. 18 is the cage total. That's what we know. I wish I could use it more. Oh, I'd forgotten the whole negative constraint, hadn't I? You idiot. No 2 touching cells can add up to 5 or 10. 23 minutes in. Why don't I have a chess piece for negative constraint? Oh, you idiot. Right. Now, how's it going to help? So we can't have 3 touching 7 in this cage. I mean, I'm skeptical about whether it has been very helpful to this point, actually. I don't know. It's very hard for me to imagine that that was an incredibly useful thing at some point. It's not as if those 2 cells touch, or any of these 5. So it might be that I could let myself off the hook of poor memory and say not a problem. But it might not. 3, 4, 5, 6 there is quite interesting. 6 would have to avoid 4. Anyway, okay, let's look at this one. If this had a 3 and a 7 in it, it would also have an 8. And the 8 would have to be in the middle, chaperoning the 3 and the 7 away from each other. Oh, this can never be 7 now. So the 8 would be there, 3 would be here, 7 would be here. We'd have 9, 5 down here, 1, 2, 6 here. Not really a problem, not even with the adding up to 5 thing. Okay, so let's look at this cell then. We've got these pink cells that add to 11. This one can't be a 3 anymore because it's next to a 7, and it can't be 2. It could be 1, 4, 5, or 6. These then add up to 9, 5, 4, or 3. I don't know how to use that. I don't know. Right. I I need to use this negative constraint though, because everything looks hopeless until I start employing that. Okay, here's a thought. These cells add up to 9, there's 3 of them. If they were 2, 3, 4, the 2 and the 3 would have to be kept apart. But if they included a 1, the 1 couldn't be next to the 9. So there's either a 1 in one of these, and the others would be 2, 6, or 3, 5. That's not that helpful. These can't be no, I was going to say they can't be a 4, 5 pair. That's nonsense. They can't have a 1 here, that's all I know. I do want to use this negative constraint. I don't know how. It's probably very important at this exact point in the puzzle, and I need to get my head around what it does. So, if that was 2, 3, 4, 1 has to go into one of these 18 cages, and it would have to be 1, 8, 9. 8 would have to be the chaperone for 1 and 9. So then, since 9 can't be in these cells, if that's 2, 3, 4, there's a 4 here, and there's a 1 in one of these shells, and it would have to be separated from the 4. It would have to be there. It would be incredibly... If this is 2, 3, 4, that's a 4, that's a 1, 8, 9, 2, 3 here, and these are going to be 5, 6, 7, and they're not so constrained. I mean, that would be really useful. Okay, well, maybe it's better to rule out 1 avoiding, 1 getting into this cage, because it will be in one of these cells. If it's 1, 2, 6 here, I don't know, it makes these much harder to form in terms of there are many more possibilities. What is the difficult cage size? 3 or 4 cells? Because the 18 cages are only 3 or 4 cells in this puzzle. I don't know. A 3-cell cage could be 1, 8, 9, in which case 1 and 9 have to be kept apart. It could be 2, 7, 9, in which case there's no constraints. And that's almost inspiring me to just stop considering that. 3, 7, 8, 3 and 7 would have to be kept apart, but 3, 6, 9, no constraints. I don't think it is worth going through all those possibilities. There are a few more. So let's... this cage maybe can't have a 1 in it. If it does, it's 1, 8, 9, and the... I was going to say the 8 has to separate the 1 and the 9. Well, that's fine, because then the 8 will also avoid the 2. Okay, now I believe there's a strong likelihood that this cage does have a 1 in it. If it didn't, the 1 is here by Sudoku. Oh, and then we also know these add up to 8 at that point, don't we? Okay, but that doesn't really help. So if the 1 is here, these add up to 17. They don't use 1, 2, or 7. 3, 5, 9. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Oh, where does 3 go in this whole box? It's a beautiful question. It can't go next to 2 and it can't go next to 7. 3's in one of those cells. There is a question. Now 3 can't be down here, and this is a 1, 2, 6 triple. Now there's no 2 in this cage. Oh, well, first of all, this is a 5, 9 pair, since 6 can't be in it. And this is a 3, 7, 8. And 3 and 7 have to be chaperoned apart by 8, which goes there. Now I've suddenly tripled the number of digits I've got, or doubled them, maybe. Not even quite that. Hush up. Right, 1, 2, 6. Now, it was 3. That was the blooming number. Now, well, what else have we got out of that? There might be more. That can't be 2 sitting next to 8. Well, I know there's a 7 up here. I've probably known that for a long time and I haven't used it. 3, 1, 2, 6. This cage contains a 3, adds up to 18. So this cage doesn't contain a 3. So it's either 189, which I rather suspect, or it doesn't contain 1, 2, or 3, or 7. So it's not 5, 6, 7. So it would definitely have a 4 in it. That 4 would have to go here. The other 2 cells would add to 14. And they couldn't be 5, 9 because that would break here. So it would have to be 4, 6, 8. So there's always an 8 in this cage. It's either 4, 6, 8 or 1, 8, 9. The 8 can never sit next to the 2 and it must go there. Now there's an 8 up here somewhere. I cannot actually rule 8, 7 as a pair out of there, annoyingly, because that would be 2, 1. Now, 8 here is either surrounded by 1, 9 or 4, 6 in these cells. Now, something happened here. These had, oh no, I don't know what this is. Okay, but this is now either 3, 4, 5, 6, with the 6 here, can't sit next to the 4. Okay, I don't know how the 3, 4, 5 would pan out. That would be a 7, 8, 9 triple. That would be incredibly helpful because this would be a 7, 8 pair. That would be a 1, 2 pair. This would be a 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, that would really feed on. Okay, I want that to be the case. But if this isn't 3, 4, 5, 6, it's because 6, 4 are in here. Then it's 1, 9, 3, 5. And the 1 and the 9 would have to be kept apart. And that would be a 4, which couldn't sit next to 1. Ah, 1 couldn't go anywhere in the cage if that was a 4. Because there's a 1 in this group and 1 couldn't sit there. So this isn't a 4. And that isn't a 6. This is the 1, 9 pair I suspected. And now this is a 7, 8, 9 triple. But this is an 18 cage, so they have to be the minimum 7, 8 pair. This is what I was just saying might happen. That's a 1, 2 pair. This is now 3, 4, 5, 6, the minimum it can be. And that's a 7, 8 pair sitting next to the 9. I mean, that's quite interesting. These 3 digits can't have 9, 8 or 7 in. That's less interesting. But 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5 here. That can't be 3. This is a 6 and can't sit next to 4. And now, well, we can work out what these add up to by adding 18 and 24 is 42. They're a 2, 1 pair. That's a 9. And these 3 pinks added up to 9, which was, I seem to remember what I wanted. 9, it's going to give us a 1 there and a 9, 5 down here. That's all very well. 9 can't sit next to 1, so it sits next to 2. 1, 2, 1. Now I don't have to worry about the 2, 8 pair that was potentially here. Now, 3 can't sit next to 2. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple, in fact, and that's a 6. 3 can't sit there. 6 and 4 can't be together. Excellent. Well, that was progress. We've got quite, that can't be a 4 next to the 1. In fact, that means this is the only place for 4. Does that feed upwards? No. That can't be a 1. So there's a 1 in this cage that adds up to 18, doesn't have a 4 in it. Not that helpful. These 2 add up to 9, and now they don't have a 4 or a 2 in. So they're either 1, 8 or 6, 3. These also add up to 9, and they're the other pair of 1, 3 or 6, 8. These 2 are odd digits, 5 and 7. That's a 7-8 pair looking at this cell. And if that can't be 8, this can't be 1, because these go in 2 little pairs of 9. Right, 5 or 7 here. This cage, these either add up to 11, if that's a 7, then the 11 can't use 7 or 8, would have to be 9, 2 or 6, 5. If that's a 5 though, these add up to 13 without a 5 or an 8. Oh, there is a 9 by Sudoku in this cage. Right, so if that's a 7, there's also a 2 in the cage. If it's a 5, there's a 4 in the cage. That's much more limited than I'd realised. There must be some digit that is forced in here. No, maybe not. Oh, look at 7 though. 7 can't be there and 7 can't be here. This is the only place for 7 in the box. Wow, so this is a 9-2 and we know the order. Thanks to the 2 up here. That's become a 5. 7 can't sit next to the number 3, so that can't be the number 6, because this is a 9 pair. 2 can't sit next to the number 8, so that's a 6, and this is a 3, and this is a 1-8 pair over this side. Unconstrained. Right, this cage contains 1, 4, 5, 8. The 1 can't sit next to a 9, so it's in one of those cells. The 4 can't sit next to a 1, so it can't be here. So it's in one of those. 5 can be anywhere. 5 is a philandering digit that can sit next to anything. 8 can't sit next to the 2, so 8's in one of those cells. And 3 can't sit next to 7 up here, so that's 8, that's 7, which again can't sit next to 3. Now, 8 there makes this a 5, according to the work I just did. That's now where 8 is. This has become 3 and 5. 3 can't sit next to 2, so that's placed 2 down here. 6 has turned up here. Now, 4 can't sit next to 6 or 1, so it must be there. 8 has sorted out this 7-8 pair. That can't be 4 by Sudoku and because it's next to 1, so that's a 4. And these 3 5s are not getting resolved. But that's a 3-5 pair, so this is 2, 4, 7 in this row. Anything there that can't dwell next to its neighbour? Not really. Okay, down here we have definitely 2 and 6. They add up to 8. The other 2 in the cage add up to 10. One of them is either, well, one of them could have been 1 or 4. But if we took a 4, we'd need yet another 6. So that's not possible. So this must be 2, 6, 1. And that's a 9. 9 can't sit next to 1. That's become a 4. That's a 1. This is a 7-8 pair that I can do. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple. I can add up this cage, and that's a 3. And surely there's some negative constraint issue going on somewhere here. And there isn't. Well, 6 and 4 couldn't go together across the divide, but that's all. 5 is such a rogue digit. Right, 9 is now in one of these 2 cells with 3 digits that add up to 9 in the cage. Then there's a pair that add up to 9 in this one. How am I going to do? Oh, that can't be 2 because it's next to 8. Right, this pair is a 2-4 pair. This pair is 3, 6, 7, but they have a chaperone-worthy couple of 3 and 7. The 6 has to sit in between them, and 6 can't sit next to 4. And that was good. Now, 4 out of that, 2 out of that. If this was a 2, that would have to be a 7-9 pair, which it certainly can't be. So that's a 7, that's 4, that's 2. These 2 now add up to 7. They're either 1, 6 or 3, 4. They can't be 3, 4, so they are 1, 6. These add up to 11, and with the digits remaining available in the box, they're 3, 8. 3 can't go next to the 7. These are 5, 9. That makes the cage add up to the right total. It sorts out the 3, 5 pairs. We're motoring now. 3 and 7 are done. Actually, 8 and 1 are done. So these are a 1, 2, 6 triple, and that's a 9, and that makes the cage add up to the right thing. This is a 7, 8 pair, and this is a 3. This is a 4, 5 pair. Now, 4 can never sit next to either 1 or 6, so that must be a 5. That's a 4. That sorts out 5 and 4 here. This can't be 2, so we've placed 2 in the box. That is an 8 because of sitting next to 3. That's a 7. Now, we can place 2 here, and now we can see why the white dot here is here. It's a late disambiguator, because otherwise I don't think this 1, 6 pair could be disambiguated, but it can be now because of the white dot. We go 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1. That's a lovely puzzle. Thank you for completing my first ever Sudoku construction, says James. Well, thank you for sending your first ever Sudoku construction, James. Excellent. Really interesting, really good fun. I wonder if I was slow onto the way to crack 17 or 18, because it was quite complicated for me. There might have been an easier way, but it's a very good puzzle. And yeah, I wish you many more, and send the next one to us as well. We'll see you soon on the channel. Thank you for watching. Do come back tomorrow. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'd love to get our subscriptions up to 700,000. And I can't believe I said that. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.